Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome to your #1 source for Native American television news, Native News Today. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, welcoming you into the Muskogee Media Studios as we get ready for another program. We have a great show lined up for all of you today, and we're so glad that you could join us. Getting right to things, the first thing this week will be a visit up to Flying Tee as they get ready to open that business, a golf entertainment venue. They're getting ready to open it, as you can see in the Tulsa area by the river. It's going up very fast, and it's set to open here in the next few months. We talked with the business managers bringing it to life, and also CEO Mike Payne of One Fire Holding about the partnership with Flying Tee and the Muskogee Creek Nation. Also, we took a trip to Margaritaville, give you a tour of the ongoing construction there as we get ready to open it up later this year as well. We'll talk to some great folks and have editor Sterling Cosper of the Muskogee Nation News in studio. All of that, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this first break.
We believe if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. We believe that transitioning convicted citizens back into our communities enhances public safety. We believe that every citizen, even ex-prisoners, are important and are capable of change. We believe in reclaiming our citizens and investing them back into a culture that embraces healing and restoration.
We believe
in reintegration.
And welcome back to Native News Today as we get started with our features for this week. And the first one takes us to the Muskogee Creek Nation property along the river there, Riverwalk Crossing in Jinx, as the Flying Tee is going up, as I said, just by leaps and bounds. It is starting to take shape. You can see the big net out there getting ready for this 3-deck golf entertainment facility. Going to be hitting bays, tracking your golf ball, virtual golf experience, as well as 3 different dining options, all kinds of things happening, sprouting up there of the river. And what's neat is we went up and was able to basically tour around some of the construction, the facilities. We'll show you that here now, but when you get up there, you can see just how close it is in the proximity to our Margaritaville expansion across the river and the big casino resort going up over there. So it's all tying in, it's all happening right now for the Muskogee Creek Nation. And we wanted to talk to the Flying Tee guys and also Mike Payne about what this means for the Muskogee Creek Nation.
Yeah, we couldn't be more excited. So we started this project construction back in April of 2015, and we're now within a couple of months of opening. The excitement that it's generating around the community, obviously, we've seen it on the news, the papers, everywhere else. We couldn't be more excited to bring something this unique, this state-of-the-art to the Tulsa area. I mean, there really nothing like this exists in the Tulsa and Jinx community, and we can't wait to get it open. We're expecting to be open early spring, so right around into March, early April, that time frame will be open to the public. And like I said, it's been a long time coming, but it's as you can see here today, we've made substantial progress, and thanks large part to the Muskogee Creek Nation, to Timberlake who's building the facility, and we couldn't be more excited. It's no secret, we looked in a lot of different places of where to build this facility. The the partners of the business are all from Oklahoma to begin with, so it's very important for us to build this facility, our first one in the state of Oklahoma, using a lot of local partners, whether it's the contractor or multiple other vendors and partners to build it. In terms of this specific location, as I mentioned earlier, being this close to probably the finest resort in the state, with the amount of people and traffic that's going to draw there, and also in a community that loves sports, likes recreation. At the end of the day, this is a family-focused, activity-based entertainment center, and to be able to put this in this community is a perfect fit, we think. And to have this type of view of the Arkansas River, of the Margaritaville Resort, of downtown, I mean, I couldn't really imagine a better spot in the state or in the city.
It's all about the entire entertainment experience. It's not just the golf or just the food and beverage. It's how we tie each of those together and how we create different experiences depending on what each customer is looking for. Because we don't want you to just come one time, we want you to come 3 different times. So we want to make it something that's an active part of South Tulsa and Jenks. So there's 3 different restaurants basically on each level. The first floor is more of Flying Tee, which is more of the sports bar, fresh take on classic sports bar fare. The second floor you've got Ironwood Rotisserie. So there's a feature wall with a couple of different types of rotisseries. A little bit nicer option if you're wanting something a little bit more take your wife or date night out. And then the top level is Flight. So it's a little more of the rooftop experience. Think flights of food, flights of drinks.
So the Creek Nation and One Fire, there's kind of a 2-part relationship. So with the Creek Nation as the owner of the Riverwalk, and with One Fire as the kind of the asset manager, the landlord of the Riverwalk, we have a landlord-tenant relationship with them. They signed a long-term lease, 25-year lease, for the building that's behind us. And we are with them 50-50 developing, building this building, and they will, starting now, be leasing that building from us. Then, as One Fire, as an investment firm, has purchased an interest in the Flying Tee outside of just this building. So as they continue to grow, as they continue to have opportunities both throughout the United States and globally, internationally, then we will participate in all of that growth as a minority owner of the Flying Tee. We also have a board seat with the Flying Tee, so we'll be part of those decisions that are made as they continue to expand and reinvest their capital in growing their company. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for employment at the Flying Tee. As they open and as they grow, there's going to be opportunities for entry level all the way through executive level positions. All of those opportunities are posted on their website and open, and we would encourage any and all Creek citizens interested in employment to hit that website and apply for those jobs.
And our thanks once again to John Volbrecht, Ryan Tallwater, Mike Payne, all those guys taking us on a tour of Flying Tee. Speaking of tours, we also went right across the river and took a tour of the 17th floor construction going on at Margaritaville Resort and Casino. We went up there with Second Chief Lewis Hicks, Principal Chief James Floyd. They wanted to see for themselves some of the great progress that's being made there. For us, we wanted to delve into what's going on with the project, the work that's being done with TERO, specifically the vendors, the natives that they're putting to work on that project. And we talked with a specific native-owned company that is in the TERO department here at Muskogee Creek Nation as a showcase of how this program is working, putting natives to work, putting native business owners into projects. So it's a great thing. We'll show you here really a little montage of our tour, and also coming out of the tour, we'll talk with Sterling Cosper in studio about our interview with TERO manager, Mr. John Overacker. Enjoy. We're here on the 17th floor of what will be Margaritaville Resort and Casino, and I'm with Mr. David Collins. He is with Phoenix Construction Group. Actually heads up the Phoenix Construction Group. David, talk about the fact that you guys up here working as part of the TERO program. I know you guys are proud to be a part of that program.
Absolutely. Proud to be a part of the TERO. If not for TERO, my company wouldn't be here right now. All we needed was an opportunity to show what we can do. We're doing just that. Everybody's happy. Manhattan, Redstone. It's a very good job.
Well, and what we talk about with TERO is hiring natives, getting natives on native projects. You guys are doing that too. You got a great crew.
Yes, I have up here on my staff. I have 21 employees. 9 of them are Native Americans, card-holding Native Americans.
Wonderful. Yeah, so almost half of your workforce on this project. Yeah. And there are other TERO vendors, as we've seen, that are a part of the project too. But David, what's all going into this project for you all? What are you guys specifically doing here?
My job scope is to do the metal framing on all 29 floors. Every room, every bathroom, every mop closet, every room that's going to be here is going to have the name Phoenix Group on it, because we did it. If not for the framing, you have nothing else.
Absolutely. Doing a fantastic job, and not only on this project, David, but the Phoenix Group also worked on other Creek Nation projects. You guys have done an add-on, I understand, from the River Spirit Casino.
No, we did an add-on for the One Fire Casino in Okmulgee. Did the add-on edition. So we did that last year. Came out successful. If you go in that bar, that new bar we built, it's beautiful.
Yes, it looks very good. I've been in there, and actually we highlighted it. Everything looks great.
Yeah, nice.
Anything that you all are working on in the future, or looking to bid out, or anything like that?
Well, here.
I know you got your hands full here.
Yeah. Well, we're not finished here. We're going for the. It's a scope called special installations, which what that means is all the handicap rails, all the handicap grab bars in the bathrooms, any kind of bathroom partition. We want that too. We're going strong with Manhattan and Redstone. I'm gonna go to them and say, hey, this is what we do. You see what we've done so far. We want the opportunity to do that special installation job.
When we're talking with TERO today, it's nice to come up, see a TERO vendor putting it to work, putting natives to work, a native, a self-business owner, doing a great job. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Thank you,
Keep up the good work.
All right, man. Thanks, guys.
And as you can see, a nice little tour there of the ongoing construction at Margaritaville Resort and Casino. All of the big things happening, and nice of them to give us a tour. Sterling Cosper now joining me in studio, the editor of the Muskogee Nation News. You were along for the tour as well, and as you can see there, also an interview with one of the TERO vendors working on that project. And Sterling, you recently sat down with the manager of the TERO department, Mr. John Overacker, to talk about some of the things going on with TERO.
Yeah, after the tour, we just met up with them in the office down on the ground floor, and we asked John a little bit about what they're doing with that project specifically, as well as TERO's mission overall. So what it kind of started out with was him just giving an overall view of what the purpose of TERO is.
To be certified, there's 3 things you have to hit according to our law. One, it has to be owned by an Indian. So that's the easiest thing to do, is own a business by an Indian, whether it's an LLC, a partnership, or even a corporation. So the second one is the Indian has to be in the day-to-day operation of the business. So that's pretty substantial. You can look and see if the committee doesn't know if the Indian is in the day-to-day, we can actually bring that company in and interview them to see what their role is in the company. And the third one is the control. They have to control the company as well. And that can be done with tax documents, their agreements that they have in place, if it's a partnership, what their duties are of the business.
So some good base information to start out with. Sterling, where did you go next with the interview?
Well, we asked them how compliant the River Spirit expansion project is with TERO, and then we kind of went into how that benefits the citizens.
It's been very well. I came in after the project had already started, and the biggest thing that we're trying to do is place our citizens on this project. Since I guess April of 2015, we have approximately placed 90 Muskogee Creek citizens on this project through different trades with different companies, and there have been another 155 other Native Americans from other tribes working on this project.
Okay. Do you have a general idea how many TERO vendors
No, I don't. We interviewed one today. I know there's at least 4 to 5, maybe 10 TERO vendors that actually, I don't know if they have contracts, but I know some of them have subcontracts with larger vendors that are out here.
Good information there. He has some numbers, actually, some quantitative things to give us. And so now, where did the next portion of the interview take you?
Well, that previous one, we looked at how that benefits the citizens, how the project is, and next we're looking at what the benefits are of being a TERO certified vendor besides having just preference on the project.
Basically, what we do in the TERO, we do 2 things. One, we place people on our projects, and 2, the other portion is we help certify businesses so they receive preference in bidding with the Muskogee Creek Nation and its entities. So the preference is different, but they do receive a preference in bidding with us. So when a business becomes certified, the TERO actually sits in meetings to make sure that preference is being given.
Okay. And you said you guys kind of provide some consultation as well?
Yes, we do to businesses that come in. Some of them will come in when a business gets signed up. They may not know exactly what they need to do or where to bid. We do have the website that is posted. We also work with businesses to think outside the box to see what they can actually bid on and what they want to do. And also, we actually look at non-TERO vendors who have larger contracts with us and to see if our smaller TERO vendors can fit into a portion of that contract, so our TERO vendors can grow and learn how to work on big projects and increase their bonding capacity and insurance capacity, as well as increasing their Muskogee citizens who work for them.
One of the great initiatives at Creek Nation here recently in the last few years is our partnership with small business development, things like that. I think you asked him a question about that next, right?
Yeah, correct. There were 2 programs here at the tribe that I thought maybe they were collaborating with. One was the Small Business Development Center, which helps tribal businesses get off the ground, and also the apprenticeship program over at Tribal Construction that's trying to work up a Creek workforce. And obviously both of those could be pertinent to the tribe. So John just kind of elaborates on that as to what level their collaboration is.
The apprenticeship program, we actually train, we actually host some trainings. Earlier this summer, I hosted it was a metal stud drywall and level 5 finish class we had. We actually had it at the Indian Capital Votech in Muskogee and at the West Watkins Technology Center there in Wetumpka, which some of the apprentice people actually came to that. We paid them a small stipend for the little 8-week course, and I believe there might have been 29 to 30 Muskogee citizens that actually went through that program to learn how to do those trades.
So great partnerships there, and in talking about training, which leads to your next question about the workforce that they need.
Yeah, I mean, the whole spirit of TERO is to put tribal citizens to work, but you're going to need a skilled workforce to fit those jobs, and that's kind of what we were talking about with the apprenticeship program and SBDC. And so we just flat out ask them, how is the available Creek workforce, and how is that helping him stay in compliance?
It is immense. The problem we have right now is we have enough general laborers out here. That's the first thing that goes when a project starts. They need general laborers for cleanup, to tote material, and so those are the ones we filled up first. And now we're getting into the part of the project where we're going to need electricians, electrical apprentices, HVAC, journeymen, people who have licenses or apprentices for that, as well as plumbers and plumbing apprentices as well. So we're going to need more in-depth trades, people who have a little more skills in the different aspects of the commercial side of the industry.
Okay, and how are you going about trying to rally that?
Basically, we look at different things. We have a job bank where people can actually come to the TERO office or go online to the TERO webpage, and they can fill out a 2 or 3 page job bank application where they can list their skills. So when a vendor does call and say, hey, I need a plumber, and whether it's in Okemah or whether it's in Henrietta or whether it's here at River Spirit, we can look to that list and find someone local to see if we have people that match up to those skills. And then we actually call the company and say, hey, look, call this person, interview them, and see if they qualify for this job.
One of the big questions, I think, for you and to be able to get it in the paper is compliance. And how is he monitoring that?
Yes, that's correct. I mean, one thing is to have laws, the spirit of TERO being that not only are we creating tribal businesses to benefit the tribe as a whole, but also when we're doing those projects, we're creating jobs for citizens. But how do they enforce that law? I mean, what goes the law if no one's there to enforce it? So John kind of gives us an overview of how they handle that and make sure that everyone is in compliance.
The list is on a database we actually have, and when a vendor comes on site, and they interview one of our people that we actually send to them, they have to send us back a sheet that basically says they hired them or the reasons why they didn't hire them. So we can actually stay in contact with that company. If the reasons they give aren't good, that we think, for not hiring someone, we can actually call that company and on behalf of our citizens say why they didn't get hired. And so if our citizens didn't get hired, we can actually meet with that citizen as well and say, okay, this is the things we need to work on. Maybe we need some training in this area, or just little bitty things.
Okay, and you said site visits like the one today are also part of that compliance?
Yes, we do site visits to make sure that the people we send out here and other Native Americans in our projects are being treated fairly.
You know, specifically as it relates to leadership and somebody in position of leadership at TERO, there's been a lot of turnover. What is it that you asked him next about that?
Well, John has been over that program for a fairly short amount of time. He came in at least midway through this specific River Spirit project. So basically what I asked him was him personally, what has he accomplished so far in his tenure?
Stability. That is probably the biggest thing. There was a lot of compliance issues where some of our compliance officers were not able to lean back and rely on the TERO manager. The TERO manager make the decisions for compliance, because sometimes we have different things that we have to make a decision on. Who's right? If an Indian files a complaint with the TERO on one of our job sites, it's our obligation through the law. We have to investigate that. So we have to make decisions based on whether the Indian was right or the business was right or which party was correct. So we brought that to it. We've also been able to place more people on our job sites, whether it be at River Spirit, Okema, or things like that. We've also been able to be the third party, the liaison between the vendors and the owners, or whoever holds the contract at the casinos as well, or at our projects. This is the casino project.
You know, talking about his plan, I know that he has some long-term goals that he discussed with you.
Yep, yeah, we talked about what he's accomplished so far, but as we know, this River Spirit project isn't even over yet. We've also started a new tribal administration, so I just kind of wanted to pick his brain a little bit about where he wants to take his program from here.
My biggest goal coming up is, when River Spirit is done, they're going to open the hotel, the restaurants. So my biggest goal now is to actually, we're going to meet with the River Spirit staff and the hotel side, because we need to train some of our citizens that if they want to be cooks, banquet servers, security guards, the different jobs that are going to open up here. And we'll look at having trainings in Okmulgee, Tulsa, Muskogee that are close to this area, so our citizens can travel to one of those three spots and get the training they need with their certificate. So when those jobs open up here and the casino is fully open with the hotel, they'll be qualified to come to work here if they choose to. And that's the next phase that we're going to work on, is to help get our citizens up here to work in our casinos and have a career, have the retirement, the health insurance, and all the other benefits that come with working with the Muskogee Creek Nation.
We're about wrapped up with the interview, but where did you go next with your questioning?
Well, eventually the River Spirit project is going to come to an end, and of course it's created a lot of job opportunities and opportunities for TERO businesses, but that job's going to end at some point, so we wanted to ask, what does he think the long-term impact is going to be? Is it going to help businesses grow and branch out into other projects on down the road? So he kind of weighs in a little bit on that.
All right.
I've been doing this for several years, working with TEROs, and tribes need to look at, we can find a vendor to do any type of work or give us any product or service we need. They're a dime a dozen. There's several out there. If we have one, there's five others that can provide the same type of work or products. But we need to focus on is the businesses that want to come to the Muskogee Creek Nation and be partners with us. And what I mean by partners, not just make money off the tribe, but to give back, whether it's to hire our citizens, to train our citizens. Because at the end result, we all work for the tribal member that needs a service or a product that we can actually give to them. And our role at TERO is what we can help them with is job training, or we can actually help place them on jobs to begin their careers, or help a business grow and expand it so they can hire more of our Creek citizens to work in their businesses.
So you're at the end of the interview, basically. I know that you wanted to give him a chance to maybe tie in some final thoughts.
Yeah, and it certainly did. We led with basically explaining what TERO is. That was our first question, and what's nice about what wraps it up is that he talks about the overall general philosophy and spirit behind TERO and why we implemented it in the first place.
Everybody always talks about sovereignty. The tribes talk about, well, we have sovereignty. Well, the greatest way to exercise your sovereignty is to create laws, which we do at the Muskogee Nation. And on top of that, we get to enforce our laws. So our people do have the first preference to come to work here. That is the great thing about being a tribe and being a sovereign nation, is enacting your own laws and then enforcing them to make sure that your people, it's not an equal playing field. Our people have a preference to come to work here. And that's what we're trying to do, is make it say, so our people can be here.
Well, Sterling, great job on the interview. We'll be looking forward to seeing the coverage of it in the Muskogee Nation News. And thanks for being with us here today in the studio to sort of analyze and break it down.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Sauls. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Well, we'll take our last break here. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for your next 18-hole adventure? Then take a look at Fountainhead Creek Golf Club. Nestled in the beautiful confines of Lake Eufaula State Park, large sloping greens and well-placed bunkers characterize the Muskogee Creek Nation's Floyd Farley designed course and offers a fine test of skill for any golfer. Stay up on all the latest gear and equipment with a visit to our pro shop. Have lunch at the Turn at the Clubhouse Grill. We're waiting to accommodate you at Fountainhead Creek. Give us a call at 918-689-3209 or visit fountainheadgolf.com to book your next round. Fountainhead Creek Golf Club, close to home, far from ordinary.
All right, that'll do it for another episode of Native News Today. I want to thank all the people for having us up at the Margaritaville Expansion and Construction Project. John Overacker doing a great job with TERO. All the people there doing a fantastic job putting up the framing and inside there. Phoenix Construction Group, Mr. David Collins and his crew doing a wonderful job also. The Flying Tee guys, thanks for having us up. John Volbrecht, Ryan Tallwater, Mike Payne, letting the Creek citizens know just what this all means for Muskogee Creek Nation, and Muskogee Nation News editor Sterling Cosper in studio with me, breaking everything down, getting it ready for you folks at home and across the web. And speaking of the web, we've got viewers from all over. We've got people watching the show each week from California, Oregon, and even right here on CW 1219, all the way over there in Porham, Oklahoma. Rusty Gertie, his son Simon, telling me they like to watch the show each week, and Rusty's a good buddy of mine, so he's bringing up Simon Wright watching Native News Today. There's a great Native family there, and I want to give a shout out to all of our viewers. They do a wonderful job at supporting us, coming on the YouTube channel when you're not in the viewing area, subscribing. That really helps out what we're trying to accomplish here. So everybody out there, have a great week. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You all have a great one. We'll see you next time.